What's something you want people to know about being young in Greenland?
We don't live in igloos.
It's not like in Europe where you can take a train from the UK to Paris. We're an island and we're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
There's a lot of misinformation, misconception of Greenland. The only stories that we hear, climate change, suicide rates, alcoholism, all that, and they disregard majority of Greenland.
In my teenage years, I first got the idea of leaving Greenland because I was living in a very isolated place. There was this pressure to get an education, really excel in life, and you could only do that by leaving Greenland.
La peste 2000 de kilometri nord-vest de Europa se află cea mai mare insulă de pe planeta Pământ, Kalaallit Nunaat, pe care restul lumii o știe sub denumirea de Groenlanda. Din întregul populației de 58.000 de locuitori, adulții tineri reprezintă cel mai mare procentaj și sunt cei mai speciali. Nu numai pentru că această țară înghețată este acasă pentru ei, dar și pentru că întrebarea pe care și-o pun deja din perioada adolescenței este să plece în Europa sau să rămână. De la Trei tineri groenlandezi aflăm ce înseamnă această decizie pentru generația tânără.
To other people, it's just an airport. They almost don't even think that people live here, or maybe haven't even had a real thought about Galatasaray. I mean, there are only 400 or 500 people here, but it has a lot of meaning.
Atena merge la liceu în Sisimiut, o localitate aflată la 130 de kilometri de casă. Pe timpul vacanței, vine acasă, în Kangerlussuaq, își vizitează familia și se gândește dacă să-și urmeze pasiunea în muzică sau să meargă la studii după terminarea liceului.
Growing up in Galatasaray I think it was great. I really liked being here because we weren't so many kids at the school and there was more opportunity to get to know each other on a way deeper level. We would mostly play outside. We had to hang out at a bus, old American bus. We would also explore. So even though it's a small town, it's a very big place. It was like being on an adventure.
I love living in Nuuk. There's also always something going on and stuff you can do. I think sometimes people on the coast feel overlooked compared to Nuuk because there's so many people and it's much more a big city.
Nuuk este capitala Groenlandei și cel mai mare oraș al țării. Laura s-a mutat aici acum câțiva ani după ce a studiat în Danemarca. Astăzi și-a terminat masterul și lucrează la o organizație pentru drepturile copiilor, fiind implicată în muzica și cultura Groenlandei.
Okay, so personally, yes. I have had a feeling since I was starting school that the adults are all the time I've heard so many times, you're the future of our country, you as a generation. So study hard. Okay. But pressure, anxiety.
In elementary school, my teachers would tell me, go get an education and then come back, because we need more educated people in Greenland and stuff. And that's true, but for me, it was more like a pressure. You have to have a bright future because you are the future of Greenland.
There's some things that you can study here, there's some things you can't study here, and then the obvious choice would be, okay, then you go to Denmark because you can study for free in Denmark because we're Greenlandic, but we're Danish citizens, and that whole thing.
So what do you say when people are but it's a part of Denmark, so it's European?
People say that a lot. Greenland is a part of Denmark. It's not. It's colonized by a European country. It has ties to Europe, but it's not Europe.
I don't like that relationship, that they have the upper hand. It makes me feel like we're just like an object.
Istoria colonială a Danemarcei face ca sentimentele tinerei generații în legătură cu identitatea să fie puțin complicate.
A lot of people have presumptions about you because of how you look. If you're European looking, if you're Danish looking, you feel like you have to make up for the way you look by speaking the language. I mean, that's at least how I feel. I mean, like, if I'm in the supermarket and I'm standing in line, you know, the cashier is gonna speak Groenlandic to the people in front of me, and then when it comes to me, they're gonna, like, switch to Danish, and, you know, it can be kind of like a punch in the gut, like, they think I'm a tourist or something.
De cealaltă parte a problemei identitare în Groenlanda, preluarea culturii europene are provocările ei. Chiar dacă studiul în Danemarca a devenit ceva normal, experiența poate să însemne un șoc cultural, dar și rasism.
I was 16 when I first saw Trei. So that was wild, you know. And the air was weird, heavy, and wet, and just uncomfortable.
Fari locuiește în Qaqortoq, în sudul Groenlandei, cu prietena sa. După mai multe eforturi făcute la universități daneze în ultimii ani, e fericit că s-a întors acasă. Speră să fie acceptat la primul curs universitar de științe ale naturii din Groenlanda.
I grew up in Bambi. I didn't start school till third grade. First, second, and third, I didn't go to school because I was supposed to be a hunter. That's where my grandparents were. But my mom, she wanted me to go to school. So we went from Bambi to Nuuk. When I was in Nuuk, I had a whole community of friends, family, and all that. I think I went like 8th or 9th grade. She talked about you should go to boarding school. It would be good for your grades, it would be good for you, and yeah. And they mostly talk about how great it is.
I left Greenland in 2017. Yeah, whenever I met up with other Greenlandic students, they would talk about microaggressions they had experienced or racist comments and stuff like that. I think I was lucky. I think the types of people that choose to study anthropology are maybe a bit more open to differences in the world. But then when I met people studying other things, then sometimes I would get a bit of that.
The first week, someone threw a swastika at my door, and then the words Eskimo Paga, which is like Eskimo N-word. So that happened. And small little comments. That happens a lot. So.
Fari nu a primit niciun sprijin din partea școlii și nici nu au existat consecințe față de atitudinea rasistă. Ca să pună capăt acestei situații, s-a transferat la un alt internat. Fari simțea că nu are de ales, nici atunci și nici când s-a înscris la facultate. Diploma pe care și-o dorea nu putea fi obținută în Groenlanda, adică singura opțiune a sa era de a merge la facultate în Danemarca, unde a fost din nou nevoit să suporte discriminare și greutăți de adaptare. Acum, când Universitatea Groenlandei va oferi studiul biologiei, va putea în sfârșit să-și urmeze visul în Groenlanda.
I love it here because firstly it's my home and I feel home here because my whole community is my circle of friends, circle of family, all of it is here. It's in the right place between not developed and developed, so it's like you yourself can do thinks about it. So that feels good.
A alege să rămâi în Groenlanda sau să te întorci nu înseamnă să cedezi presiunii generaționale sau să te angajezi în dezvoltarea țării. Poate fi, de asemenea, o alegere asumată de a evolua ca tânăr adult. Ceea ce face ca această generație să fie unică depășește opțiunile pe care le au tinerii în față.
It isn't like I'm staying or I'm leaving. It's a in between thing for me, at least. I think it's great that I was born in this time. A lot of young people want to make a change. For myself, I want to create music to, inspire my peers. I have so much to say and stuff that I think people my age can relate to. Whatever makes sense to me when I'm done with high school, gymnasium, is what I'm gonna do.
It's easy in Greenland to have influence. Power distance, like the distance between me as an ordinary person and the people that are in charge of the country, it's not that big. Politicians are accessible. They're more accessible here, I think, compared to Europe, for instance. I'm here because why not? I think Greenland holds a lot of opportunities if you want to catch them.